You know what? We got stuck having to camp out here all by ourselves. It's terrible. There's no kids, no dogs, no generators, nothing. Linda and I left Mexican Hat this morning and we showed you the Valley of the Gods down there. And then we're traveling north. We're kind of heading back towards Montana now. And we went up through Moab, Utah, and then we hit I-70 going east a little bit because we're heading up through Vernal and up through Wyoming to go home. We're taking a nice, slow, beautiful way home. But here we got to Fruitland or Grand Junction area, and we tried to find a spot to camp. We went up to Canyonlands National Monument, and all the campsites were either taken or reserved. Something about that though, because it was 6 o'clock in the evening, and half of the campsites were reserved, but nobody was in them. And that's a national problem. It's people who just book them and then don't show up, and it's too bad for the rest of us. It should be something more like what the hotels do. If you don't show up by a certain time, they rent out your room. So it's too bad, but they don't have a policy that way. And the Highline Lake in Fruta, the campsites are full, and we just need a spot for the night. We even called the Walmart, and they said, oh, we don't care, but the city has an ordinance, and they might write you a ticket. Not good. So we headed north up Highway 139, and just a few miles north we hit this BLM land. And you know what? We got stuck having to camp out here all by ourselves. It's terrible. There's no kids, no dogs, no generators, nothing. No, I'm kidding. It's not a perfect campsite. We are by ourselves on BLM land. Well, I guess I don't need to tell you that it was quiet here last night. Very peaceful sleep. One thing you really got to remember when you come in on these roads like Linda and I do all the time is if it rains, you might get stuck. You might not be able to drive out of here if it's been raining all night. Be really careful about checking the weather all the time. Always know what the weather's going to be for the next couple days at least. Just get NOAA weather as an app on your phone. We use that all the time, and it's really accurate. So, I mean, it's been pretty accurate for us, and we depend on that. We also have those little weather radios that we use, and our walkie-talkies even have a weather radio feature on them, so we're always listening for weather. The only thing is, as for the weather radio, there's a lot of places where that doesn't work, like Nevada. Out in the places where you would really need to have a good weather report, and the weather radio won't pick it up. I guess they just don't broadcast it out there. This is a regular weather radio that I bought years ago. This is just a two-way, walkie-talkie that also has a weather feature in it. Like I say, neither one of these would pick up weather when we get into some of the remote spaces. This is a Garmin Inreach that Linda and I bought, and it's good because it'll send an SOS and you get an immediate response no matter where in the world you are, and you can send texts back and forth, so your rescuer can actually, Garmin can find out what the nature of your emergency is, and they can send out an appropriate response. Now that's a good thing. We should all have that. The other thing though is that because this communicates via satellite, I can send texts back and forth to my family, and we can check up and see how each other's doing, and I can let my family know, Linda and I can let them know where we are at any given time. And you can chat back and forth if you want to, although after a certain point, depending on what plan you have, the texts start costing you so much per each. There is a plan where you get unlimited text, but the reason I brought this out just now is you can get weather on this no matter where you are. So you have to pay you know, a dollar or something like that to get a weather report. There's two kinds of weather reports you can get, either a real simple weather report or an in-depth weather report. So this is weather no matter where you go. Because the last thing you want is to wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of heavy rain and realize that you're stranded for the foreseeable future. And you're out of coffee. And you're out of cookies. Hey, it could be worse. You could be out of one of your wife's favorite things too. Hey, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you around.